Let me ask this now. The idea here, what you just articulated, what I took out of that was that you are creating an experience when you are in and you are talking with a very important ICP, whether C-suite or a manager. You're responsible for creating a relationship that is sometimes the very first touch point with the organization. And McKinsey did a study a couple of years ago that said they looked at over 400 highly profitable companies, both B2C and B2B, that were providing the greatest return on shareholder value. And the number one differentiator that they found was CX, was customer experience. The last thing that buyer wants is to come on the phone and for them to have to educate you on what they want and what they're doing. They want to learn. They've got challenges they can't overcome. That's why they need you, right? They want that value coming your way. But the cues on that value happen when you ask the right questions. And like you said, listen, and Gong, so I'm going to stop talking in a second. Gong did a whole study in over thousands and thousands of sales conversations. The sales rep talks 2/3 to 3/4 of the time. There's no active listening there, right? You're only leaving this much time for the actual prospect to talk, and they're going to reflect on what you just talked about for a half hour, right? Or whatever it was. Tell me about, is that a good takeaway, that experience, and how you're trying to position yourself as like the Gartner trusted advisor versus seller? Like you call it a dirty word, right? They don't call it that. You're a trusted advisor.
Again, if a client gives you time in their precious, valuable day, you need to make it worthwhile. And to your point about customer experience, right? We will remember how we feel from being in that moment, in that environment, in that meeting. We will remember more how we felt than what anyone said. And so if you feel that you're getting new information, if you're the customer, if you feel the person sitting with you, either virtually or in person, has done their homework, has taken the time to think about what could be of value to me if I'm the customer or the prospect, then I'm feeling that this was a good meeting. Honestly, if I'm a customer and doing a lot of the talking, I feel really good about that. That's the other part about it, and if the person sitting across is truly listening to learn, they call it active listening, right? Listening to learn and uncover. And if they are astute enough to be able to find those nuggets of information that they can then use that as a follow-up question, then you start doing that little root and cause, that I talked about earlier, and really getting to what the customer is really trying to solve for that they may not be able to articulate. But customer experience is super helpful, whether it's in the buying cycle or it's in the service. Once I've bought and the relationship is ongoing and I feel valued as a customer, then I'm more likely to go back to this company and explore other ways that we could work together. So I do think feeling how a customer feels, their customer experience trumps everything, including what any intelligent B2B CRO, CEO, COO says in that meeting. If they feel that you've come prepared, that you've made valuable use of their time, that you've helped them explore a new way of thinking about their business or provided some insight, that's what they will walk away with. You don't have to write that down, right? Because it's in here and it's in here. And so that's where, and I do believe that client relationships are so important, and respecting them. And even honestly, even if you're engaged with a customer and they never buy, it's still, you started that relationship and you started that experience. And who knows, they may come back over time to that. I'm sure we both have had that experience in our lives where we felt really good in a meeting or in a situation. And that's what we remember. We don't necessarily remember what we talked about in the moment.